What is up, my beautiful cinephiles? Welcome back to the Film Frontline. I am so glad you're here today because we have to talk about something that is about to absolutely break film Twitter. If you thought the summer movie season was just going to be spandex and CGI explosions, think again, besties. Jane Schoenbrun is back, and they are bringing the absolute mother of all queer meta slashers to the big screen. Grab your iced coffees and lock your doors because today we are diving deep into the newly dropped teaser for Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Trust me, you are not ready for this. Let's get into the deep dive breakdown. For those who aren't familiar, Jane Schoenbrun is the visionary mastermind behind I Saw the TV Glow and We're All Going to the World's Fair. They are practically the patron saint of atmospheric, media-obsessed horror right now. And this new project, it sounds like an absolute fever dream in the best way possible. The premise is a nasty little hall of mirrors. After years of slapdash sequels and waning fandom, the notorious Camp Miasma slasher franchise is being rebooted. Enter Hannah Einbinder, playing a young, enthusiastic queer filmmaker tasked with bringing the series back from the dead. But instead of just making a movie, she becomes completely fixated on the original movie's final girl, played by the legendary Gillian Anderson, who is now a reclusive, mysterious actress. As these two start working together, the lines between reality and the movie blur, and they descend into what is being described as a frenzy of psychosexual mania. I mean, chills. Let's talk about the absolute serve of this cast. Gillian Anderson is literally mothering so hard right now. Seeing her step into a horror role that deconstructs the final girl trope is everything we didn't know we needed. And Hannah Einbinder? We know she has impeccable comedic timing from Hacks, but throwing her into a dark, obsessive, gritty role like this is a massive industry power move. Breaking down the teaser itself, Schoenbrun is giving us their signature eerie, cold, isolated aesthetic. We see kids watching television in the dark in this hypnotic, trance-like state. There is a deeply unsettling vibe right from the jump. Thematically, this movie is pulling zero punches. It's set up to explore and critique how classic horror movies like Psycho and The Silence of the Lambs historically codified gender deviance and transness as monstrous. Schoenbrun is taking those old tropes, putting them in a blender, and reclaiming the narrative. Now, as much as I am hyping this up, let's be real about the pros and the potential hurdles for the audience. Schoenbrun's work is famously polarizing. If you are going to the theater expecting a standard popcorn-munching Friday the 13th hack and slash with cheap jump scares, you might feel a little alienated. This is elevated, slow-burn, psychological dread. It's a movie that demands you sit in the discomfort. The biggest challenge for a film like this is mainstream accessibility, but honestly, that's exactly why we need it. It's challenging the audience and obliterating the genre's safe boundaries. All right, time for the Film Frontline opinion. I am absolutely living for this entire era of indie horror. We are finally getting stories that treat trauma, identity, and media consumption with actual nuance instead of just using them as cheap plot devices. The fact that it's looking at what reboots actually do to the people who survived the originals is such a fresh, toxic, and brilliant angle. Having heavy hitters like Mubi and Plan B backing a project that is this unapologetically queer and meta proves that Hollywood is finally waking up to the fact that audiences want to be intellectually stimulated while they are being terrified. I honestly think Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma is going to be the defining cinematic obsession of the summer when it drops on August 7th. It's going to be a messy, beautiful, blood-soaked ride, and I am seated. So, I have to know your thoughts. Are you ready to book your ticket back to Camp Miasma, or are these deep psychological meta-slashers starting to feel a little too heavy for your summer movie nights? Let me know down in the comments. Let's get a messy debate going. And if you loved this deep dive, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and keep it locked right here on the Film Frontline for all your essential cinema tea. Stay fierce, stay obsessed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!